Hi guys, this is a walkthrough of the Wooden Tarot by Skull Garden, and then the creator is A.L. Schwartz. Hoping I'm pronouncing the name right. There's a shop on Etsy where you can find these, and also at skullgarden.net. I got this on a Kickstarter, but now you can just buy it. It's easily available. It's a nature-based deck. It doesn't really follow the Rider-Waite system or any system. It's not. I mean, it's probably best if this is not your first tarot deck, because there's also no guidebook. So it is very different. The suits have been changed. It doesn't, like I said, it doesn't really follow Rider-Waite or Marseille or Thoth. But I really love it, and it was actually one of my first tarot decks. So, but I still have to use a guidebook and look it up, because the cards are a little pippish. So I guess in that case it is a little bit Marseille. So it comes in a tuck box. That's the back. The Wooden Tarot is an intuitive and unusual deck. This full 78 card deck casts bones, stones, blooms, and plumes as the suits of the minor arcana, and represents the human archetypes of the major arcana as surreal and slightly macabre fantasy wildlife. I would say that was described that pretty good. It comes with an extra card, and I don't know if this is still in the deck, because I got the Kickstarter, but it's the Happy Squirrel, and I just love it so much. And it's like this is the squirrel's deck, because the squirrel's got the third eye and the infinity symbol, and so the squirrel's like, this is the deck I used to read tarot. These are the backs. Cool. Eyeball, crescent moon. They originally painted on wood, so that's why it's called the Wooden Tarot. And you may notice some variations in the colors of the backgrounds of the deck, and there's some wood grain, because the wood that is painted on was different, and so there's some variation in that. So yeah, let's go. This is the Fool, one of my favorite Fools, because I feel like it represents the reverse meaning of maybe you should watch your step, look before you leap, be a little cautious. And then the upright meaning just to, go for it. It's time to go, make that leap. But so the Magician. And you can see it's definitely not a traditional magician, with the table and all the tools represented. So it'd be a little more challenging to read if you didn't know what the magician meant. Although you could just use intuition, which is what this deck is really good for. The High Priestess as a whale, and the moons. The Empress. Elephant. And her pomegranate, which is in more traditional decks. And I'm assuming, yeah, so this triangle is a triangle for water. the symbol for water, and then we have the Emperor and fire. So that's cool. Elephants really feel like emperors and empresses to me. So the Hierophant, the deer, the keys, the lovers, little hummingbirds. This is a pretty card. The Chariot. Snail carrying a world on its back, taking you where you need to go. Sometimes, movement is good, even if it's slow movement. So, Chariot's all about movement. But also, like, this is, the Chariot's about, for me, it means movement, but, like, movement with a lot of will behind it to move yourself forward. And I would say that the snail, to move itself forward, since it doesn't have any legs per se, really does move in a very deliberate and thoughtful way. So you're not rushing into things with this Chariot. You are steadily moving forward with your will. Strength. The dung beetle. I think this is a dung beetle. They're supposed to be very strong bugs, I believe. This is the Hermit with the bear. Kind of different because he doesn't have his traditional lantern. The Wheel of Fortune. Justice. The Hanged Man. The Bat. That's what he looks like in... And he's got like a third eye there. Open. Death. The owl. Eating a mouse. Temperance. Otter. Devil. This is the Tower. The Star. A lightning bug to light your way. And then the flower opening with the cup of water running out of it. This is the Moon. A very unusual sun. No creepy babies here, but still very unusual. And then this is Judgment. Also quite surreal, this card. And then this is the World, which I love that. The world tree. Yeah. So that is the major arcanas. And I'm going to start with the minors. This is the minors. So this is the god of blooms, and blooms represents cups and water in this tarot. And you can see this is the symbol for water, and there's water in the back, and then holding a flower. This is the god of blooms, and I believe that this is the ace of the suit. So, and we've got the king of blooms. The queen. The knight, which is a swordfish, so that makes sense. It's pretty cool. This is the page. This is the two of blooms. So now we're sort of getting into slightly more pippy area. This is the three, where I have to go and look at the book and be like, what does that mean? Which one is that? 4. 5. Yeah, so we're in cups. So, gotta think, what does the 5 of cups look like? 6. 7. 8. 9. 10 is my fave. Because it's got the rainbow and it's the pearl and it's so pretty. So 10 is one of my favorites. Okay, so we are on to Earth, which is bones, which represents pentacles. My favorite suit. And again, this is the earth symbol, the triangle, and upside down with the line. Then you get the mountains and the bones, which, so, king. Queen. Knight. And it's a rhino, so what knights do, rhinos, knights like charge in, so rhinos remind me, they do, I feel like they could do some good charging, with those horns. And they're like large animals, and big, and it just reminds me of like the earth, which is like kind of large and big and kind of slow. Slow moving, or slower moving than like a, say like the swordfish and the cups. So page. Oh, that's a little dandelion on top. Okay, and so this is the 2 of bones. This is the 3 of bones. So I'm like, how does that represent the 3 of pentacles? I'm not sure. So there's a lot more thought that needs to be put into it, but I just really like that. This is the 4, and I love this deck, but I really haven't worked with it enough. So I would like to work with it more. I had to go and learn a lot more about the cards, and then, come back to this deck. Really study the Rider-Waite-Smith with this one side by side, so I can learn the meanings for these cards, so I can use it more. 5. This is the 6. 7. 8. So the 8 of Pence is like honing your craft and moving up in your skills, and I just feel like this spine looks like a ladder to me. So you're on the step ladder to mastering whatever you need to master, which is so cool. 9. The 9 is the pelvis with some growth. And then 10. Okay, so next we have air, and that is plumes, and that's swords for air. That's the King of Plumes. The Queen of Plumes. The Knight of Plumes. And they all have butterflies. This is the Page. Let me go on to the 2. This is the 3. So it's the 3 of Swords, which is definitely a more traditional 3, with the heart being stabbed in some way. This is, of course, more of an anatomical heart. And then the heart, the symbol for heart. 4. 5. 6. 7. 8. 9. 10. Okay. So this is the God of Stones and the Suit of Stones, which is wands, and the element is fire. King. Queen. Knight. A unicorn. Woohoo! Yeah. That's a very... That is a very lovely unicorn. Page. So a young deer. Pages are usually young, depicted as a youth's. Pages are usually depicted as someone who's young. It's a little deer. That is the 2. 3. 4. 7. Eight, which is one of my favorite cards. The Eight of the Eight of Wands, which means which is swiftness in the Thoth, and it also it means movement, very fast movement. It's a really good card. I keep moving my. Sorry guys, this is 9 and 10. And that's it. That is the that's the wooden tarot, and I love it. I think it's awesome. So check it out if you're interested. Yeah. Cardstock is really nice. It's sort of on the thinner side, but it's not too thin, and it is shiny. It's got a little shine to it, and it is slippery, but in a really nice way. So it's not too slippery. I really like the cardstock. Mine are a little warped, unfortunately, but something about the moisture and my house. All right, so yeah, thank you very much. See you guys later. Bye.